10 years had passed since Emily had walked across the stage to receive her high school diploma. A decade had transformed her from an uncertain teenager into a confident, successful woman. Now a graphic designer in New York City, Emily had built a life she was proud of. Yet, as she held the invitation to her 10-year high school reunion, she felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. She had fond memories of high school but also unresolved feelings, especially regarding her high school sweetheart, Daniel. They had been inseparable throughout those years, sharing dreams and making plans for the future. But when graduation came, life took them in different directions. Daniel had moved to California to pursue a career in music, while Emily went to New York for college. They had tried to maintain their relationship, but the distance eventually proved too much. As Emily drove back to her hometown, she couldn't help but wonder how much had changed. The reunion was being held at their old high school, a place filled with memories. She parked her car and took a deep breath, hoping that attending this event would bring closure or perhaps a new beginning. The school gymnasium had been transformed for the evening, adorned with twinkling lights and filled with the laughter and chatter of former classmates. Emily walked in, scanning the room for familiar faces. She was greeted with hugs and smiles from old friends, catching up on their lives and reminiscing about the past. "Emily, it's so good to see you," exclaimed Sarah, her best friend from high school. "You too, Sarah." "It's been way too long," Emily replied, smiling warmly. They talked for a while, sharing stories and laughter. Yet, Emily's eyes kept drifting toward the door, wondering if Daniel would walk in. She felt a pang of nostalgia mixed with nervous anticipation. As the night wore on, Emily finally spotted him. Daniel walked in, looking more mature but still carrying the same charm that had captivated her years ago. His eyes scanned the room, and when they locked onto hers, he smiled, a smile that sent a wave of emotions rushing through her. Taking a deep breath, Emily made her way toward him. "Hi, Daniel," she said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "Emily," he replied, his smile widening. "It's been too long." They hugged, a gesture filled with both familiarity and the weight of years apart. "How have you been?" Emily asked, genuinely curious about his life. "I've been good," Daniel replied. "I've been living in Los Angeles, working on my music. It's been quite a journey." "How about you?" "New York has been amazing," Emily said. "I'm working as a graphic designer, and it's everything I hoped it would be." They found a quiet corner to talk, catching up on the past decade. They shared stories of their careers, travels, and the ups and downs of their personal lives. As they talked, it felt as if no time had passed, the connection between them as strong as ever. "I've missed this," Daniel admitted, his voice soft. "Talking to you, catching up. I've thought about you a lot over the years." Emily felt her heart swell. "I've missed it too, Daniel. I've often wondered what might have been if we hadn't lost touch." They continued to talk, the hours slipping away unnoticed. As the reunion drew to a close, Daniel looked at Emily with a hopeful expression. "Would you like to go for a walk? There's something I want to show you." Emily nodded, curious and excited. They left the gymnasium and walked through the familiar hallways of their old school, memories flooding back with each step. They exited the building and headed toward the football field, a place that held special meaning for them. "I used to come here to think," Daniel said, leading her to the bleachers. "It was my favorite spot." They sat down, looking out at the field where they had shared so many moments. Daniel reached into his pocket and pulled out a small notebook. "I wrote a song about us," he said, handing it to her. "It's something I've been working on for a while." Emily took the notebook, her hands trembling slightly. She read the lyrics, each word resonating with the love and memories they had shared. Tears welled up in her eyes as she looked at Daniel. "This is beautiful," she whispered. "Thank you for sharing it with me." Daniel smiled, his eyes filled with emotion. "I wanted you to know how much you meant to me, and how much you still do." Emily felt a surge of emotions, a mix of joy and uncertainty. "Daniel, I've missed you so much. But we've been apart for so long. What does this mean for us now?" Daniel took her hand, his touch warm and reassuring. "I don't have all the answers, Emily. But I do know that I don't want to let you go again. Maybe we can start by seeing where this takes us, one step at a time." Emily nodded, feeling a sense of hope and excitement. "I'd like that, Daniel. Let's see where this goes." Over the next few weeks, Emily and Daniel reconnected, spending as much time together as possible. They revisited old haunts, explored new places, and shared their hopes and dreams for the future. The bond between them grew stronger, rekindling the love they had once shared. As the holidays approached, Daniel invited Emily to visit him in Los Angeles. She eagerly accepted, excited to see his world and experience his music firsthand. The trip was filled with adventure and romance, as they explored the city and attended Daniel's performances. One evening, as they walked along the beach, Daniel turned to Emily with a serious expression. "Emily, there's something I need to tell you," he began, his voice steady. Emily looked at him, her heart racing. "What is it, Daniel?" Daniel took a deep breath. "I want to be with you, Emily. I don't want to waste any more time apart. I know it won't be easy, but I'm willing to make it work if you are." Tears welled up in Emily's eyes as she looked at the man she had loved for so long. "I want that too, Daniel. I want to be with you." They shared a passionate kiss, the sound of the waves crashing against the shore providing the perfect backdrop to their moment. They knew that their journey wouldn't be easy, but they were determined to face it together. In the months that followed, Emily and Daniel navigated the challenges of a long-distance relationship. They visited each other as often as possible, making the most of their time together. Their love continued to grow, fueled by their shared dreams and the strength of their connection. Eventually, they decided to take the next step. Emily found a job in Los Angeles and made the move to be with Daniel. The transition was filled with excitement and uncertainty, but their love gave them the strength to overcome any obstacles. As they settled into their new life together, they continued to support each other's passions. Emily's career as a graphic designer flourished, and Daniel's music gained recognition. They found a perfect balance, building a life that was rich with love, creativity, and adventure. One evening, as they sat on their balcony, watching the sunset, Daniel turned to Emily with a serious expression. "Emily, there's something I need to ask you," he said, his voice steady. Emily looked at him, her heart racing. "What is it, Daniel?" Daniel took a deep breath and reached into his pocket, pulling out a small velvet box. He opened it to reveal a beautiful ring. "Emily, you are my heart, my soul, my everything. Will you marry me?" Tears of joy filled Emily's eyes as she looked at the man she loved. "Yes, Daniel. Yes, I will marry you." As Daniel slipped the ring onto her finger, they shared a passionate kiss, knowing that their love had triumphed over all obstacles. They were ready to face the future together, their hearts full of hope and love. Their wedding was a beautiful celebration of their journey, surrounded by friends and family who had supported them along the way. As they exchanged vows, they knew that their love story was a testament to the power of connection, the magic of reuniting with a lost love, and the strength of true love. Years later, as they sat on their balcony, now married and expecting their first child, Emily and Daniel often reflected on their journey. They knew that their love story was one of fate and destiny, a tale of two hearts finding each other again after years apart. Their love had blossomed in the hallways of their old high school and had continued to grow, stronger with each passing day. They knew that their story was far from over, and they were excited to see what the future held, hand in hand. And as they watched the sunset, their hearts full of love and hope, they knew that they had found something truly special, a love that would last a lifetime.